Hi, welcome to another quick tutorial. This tutorial is going to show you how you can easily mask your models so that you can put it onto a board. I've expanded my layer menu and right now I just have a background layer. The most essential thing about getting your object masked is how you select it. So really quickly, I'm going to go through several selection tools before I mask. And then as you go through your model, you can see which one works best. Depending on how your photo was taken and the background, you can choose different selection methods depending on what's easiest for you. So I'm going to start by using my wand selections. So if you hit W, it'll automatically take to your wands. And the two that I'm going to be going over today is object selection as well as quick selection. And again, it's really just a matter of whether it's going to work for you or not. So with object selection, the way that it works is you draw a square around the object you want to select. So if you take a look at the little ants marching on my screen, that is what I have selected. And when I let go, Photoshop is going to study those pixels and try to find that object. You know, it did a pretty good job. It just accidentally got a shadow. This is an easy fix. If you go to your selection tool, I'm still in here. If you hold the Alt key down, you'll notice if you take, I'm going to put my cursor right in the middle of the screen. Let me dance around. As soon as I hit Alt, do you see that there is a minus sign? So hit Alt, and minus means subtract or take it out. I click. Actually, I might have to draw around it. There we go. So once I do around it, it got out of there. That looks pretty good. I'm really happy with that. And again, depending on your model, you may or may not have that luck. But now I'm going to come over and click on my mask. Let me dance around so you see where I am. Click on mask. Now I've got this clean outline of my model that I've made. Let's try another way. So again, that was the first way, object selection. I'm going to hit undo, which is Control Z, and then Control D to deselect. So again, Control Z for undo and Control D to deselect. Now I'm all the way back to the beginning. I've got a background, nothing is selected. I'm going to right click and go to my quick selection tool this time. And now with my quick selection, this may or may not be quick, but essentially you start drawing your area. Not drawing, kind of start painting over it and it tries to find those edges. Here's a couple hints for you. If you look on my screen right now, there's a brush. And if you can't see your brush, if it looks like this, hit your caps lock key. If caps lock is on, you'll see crosshairs, or if caps lock is off, you can actually see your brush size. If your brush is too big, it might not be helpful, or actually that was helpful for me. If your brush is too small, it may take forever. So play with the brush size, and I'm adjusting the brush size by hitting the brackets on my keyboard right above the return key. So play with the brush size, see where it works best for you. And again, if you want to add stuff, I'm going to hit Shift this time, or sorry, let me find the right key. If I hit, I'm really embarrassed. Oh, it's already on plus. I don't have to hit anything. I just hit plus and it adds it. That was terrible. So I'm going to hit Alt, just like I did before, to subtract some stuff. And you can see the bigger brush is a little sloppier. So I'm just kind of gently touching those edges. I'm not sure what's going on here, but oh, that actually really helped clean it up. So play with that a little bit. And then again, I go to mask. And here's what that object looks like masked. So again, that was the quick selection tool. I'm going to show you one other selection. And just like before, I did Control Z. And now to deselect, Control D, and I'm all the way back at the beginning. My mask is gone, everything has been undone. Here's one other thing that you can do. If your shape is totally crazy and Photoshop is having a hard time deciphering your model from the background, I love using the Polygonal Lasso tool. I learned how to say it just for you guys, I practiced. And with the Poly Lasso tool, essentially what you can do is draw lines. And sometimes if you do one straight line, some things will get cropped. But you just kind of trace around your model. Hopefully you can hear me clicking. let's say you totally mess up, okay? Hit the backspace or delete key, kind of back you up. Okay, almost done. So it's a little bit more work, but you have a slightly bit more control over exactly what's being selected. So you're doing all of the work instead of Photoshop. And then when you're done, you should just click near the beginning and it finds it. If that doesn't work, do a double click and it'll automatically go to the beginning. So there's my ants marching again. I hit mask and there's this object right here, which is great. So now that you have your model selection masked, you probably want to know how to get it into your main file that you're doing your board on. To do that, there's a couple different ways. So I'm going to go back to V, my selection tool. You can right click on the layer. Now it is so particular about where you click. If I click on the image, I won't see it. If you right click on the mask, you also won't see it. You need to right click in the blank area where the layer name is. It's a good rule of thumb to just click right on that name, okay? When you do that, you'll see an option for duplicate layer, and it's telling me the name of it. So, and here I can even call it model step 1, whatever you want to call it. And it's asking you, where do you want to put it? So if you have that document open, let me put it in the P1 final choice sketch just for an example and hit OK. It duplicates it right inside this drawing. Now the sizes are very different, so I can't even see this drawing. So this wasn't like the best example to pull it into. Let me actually back up. Let me create a new file in case you aren't working in if you are working in Photoshop, you can do something similar. If you're working in InDesign, this will be a little bit different. But let me make a 24 by 36 board. I'm going to keep the resolution at 150 just because I don't know how great those files are. Let me do that one more time. So again, I'm going to go duplicate layer, and I'm going to put this in Untitled 1. Great, so there's that copy. I can move it around, the layer is linked, that's what this little chain means, so I can move it and the mask moves with it. I could also do something similar with the sketch. I'm going to duplicate this sketch onto there as well. Let me invert it one more time. But this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my background layer and I'm going to drag it. I'm going to hover over Untitled 1. Bring it into the layer area and let go. So it's imperative that you bring it into your work area. Sorry, not layer area. So let me undo that. So for example, if you just take it and drag it over Untitled 1, see how I'm kind of in the black area and let go? Nope, nothing is there. So here, background, Untitled 1, drag it into your workspace, duplicated. Okay. That's it for now. Good luck. I hope these help. If there's ever anything else you want to quickly see, please let me know. Thanks, everyone.